Alright, so this is kind of crazy because some YouTube viewers are actually seeing this live now since I'm multi-streaming on YouTube now. By the way, for those of you that don't know, I'm streaming on YouTube now. So if you're not, a naughty gang or whatever, yeah, turn that on because I'm streaming on YouTube like basically every day now, Monday through Friday. But anyways, without further ado, we're talking about Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, thanks to Cat. Cat membered up and was like, hey, talk about Vegeta, and I was like, hey, you got it, dude, or dudette. So let's move on. All right, first and foremost, where do you put Vegeta? This is always one of the popular questions. Hey, dude, I have this team. What order do I put them in? I just got this question asked earlier. They're like, hey, I have UI 17 and hit. What's my order? So to answer your question, mid or point? And the reason you could run him mid is because of his assist, right? Like, they made A assist better. It lasts forever now. He's just dunking and dunking and dunking, right? 16 hits, you could go make a sandwich, come back, and they'll still be in blockstun, right? You could throw a button out, DR, and there's still shit left over. So, if you have him mid, or if you don't have him point, have him mid because of his assist. And he flourishes very well with an assist. And he just takes advantage of special tag a lot more than other characters due to how long his Ki Blast lasts. So this is why you want him pointer mid. Alright, so let's talk about his buttons. Vegeta's never had good buttons. You know, outside of cross up, jump M, this button is pretty good to cross up. It works point blank, goes into 5M, right? But jab, crouching light, 5M, crouching medium, all his buttons don't go too far. They're not like other characters, say, Adult Gohan, right? Hits you from mad far, medium starter. You gotta be pretty close with Vegeta. But they're not terrible buttons, but they're not the best. He does have multi-Ki Blast, which is always good, especially because you can cancel it. I might whip this. Ugh, there we go. So yeah, you always want to be buffering a special so you can DP your opponent if they super dash at you. So don't let them think like, oh, you threw a Ki Blast, it's free. No, you can cancel, make yourself safe. So yeah, Ki Blast, pretty good. His jump jab, pretty average, nothing too special about it. Jump medium, this is your money maker. This is your cross up button. This works at relatively all distances on most characters. It'll probably whiff on, the GT Gokus and the Krillins, but they're tiny. It's understandable. Jump heavy, nothing special about it. Jump to H. This is the funny go skirt move. You kind of just throw it out to stall, but it has such a big hitbox, you can actually hit your opponent with it. It's kind of funny, and you recover very fast with it. So you want to change your approach. You want to stall. Hit him with one of these. Of course, he has air Ki Blast. He has the regular S Ki Blast. Again, you can cancel, right, if one makes contact. You can do the same thing with 236S, which we'll get into later, but just to show. You can also, for some reason, vanish cancel this on whiff. I don't know why, but even if it does whiff, you can still make yourself safe. But again, we'll get into that later. So that's pretty much it for standard normals. Now you have the command normals. You have J2L and J2M. I believe they both sliding knockdown, right? No. Okay, interesting. Only J2M does sliding knockdown. J2L, I guess, would be to knock them into your assist and extend. Yeah. You could maybe do this. Yeah, okay, it's to extend. A little example of what you could do with it. Now, the good thing about this is that if you do hit it, you can actually combo off this. I believe it's dash up 5M. Oh, yeah, so you have the micro dash and 5M. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because you have your cross up button, but this is your same side mix move that you can confirm without needing to spend an assist. You just have to get used to the timing of the micro dash. Oof, I think you could do it with J2M as well. Yeah, but you want to use J2L just because it's faster. if you count the frames, which I could actually show you right now, this takes 12 frames versus 17 frames. So you want to be faster because you want your opponent to think that you're going to cross up. That's the main point of it, right? And you get a combo off of it without having to spend any extra resources. All right, so Chatterman pulled up and showed me a better hit confirm off of this. So we're going to include this in the video because it's actually just better in general. All right, we're back to it. Let's talk about Vegeta's specials, okay? Vegeta specials actually got a lot of good changes recently, right? Like one of the big ones is Vegeta now floats. And I used to initially my thoughts were this isn't that great because Vegeta has landing recovery. But then it hit me. You can left right mix with this, right? Depending on what assists you have. It works better with some other assists. There we go. Okay, proof of concept, right? It's good because you get the left-right mix, not just high-low. Because there's landing recovery, you don't really want to do the high-low. You want to do the left-right mix here. You just have to find what character works for you. Because some characters have too much pushback, while others don't. You can also float. I feel like it's more of a risk breaker when you cross somebody up as opposed to, you know. I definitely feel like it's more of a risk breaker. And it's also harder to get your cross-up button to hit properly. Yeah, they float, but left-right mix with an air dash is, in my opinion, a lot more of a risk breaker. So moving on, right? Vegeta has, outside of the corner, unless you do M auto combo, you typically don't do 236M. You can do this with M auto combo, which is pretty funny. Which I don't even know if it's the optimal anymore. Is that still the optimal? I don't even know if this is optimal anymore. With its new changes. This is what he used to do before. You have to keep mashing M here because it gives it a new property. But just for proof of concept, right? Outside of the corner, you typically wouldn't 236M unless you do the M auto combo version. And again, I don't even know if this is still the optimal. What? Cool. Anyways, yeah, he has so many new routes with new changes that it might not be optimal. All right, finally, EX Rocket Kick. This move has always been a jump scare. Granted, again, this is another reason why I don't think you play Super Saiyan Vegeta Anchor, because you just don't throw this out by yourself typically. It's scary. It's terrible. You're negative 13 from full screen. You want to be a little closer when you use this, but you're still hella negative. That's the problem. You can still get punished. Even if you vanish, right? You can still get punished. Can you get 2 H's on here? Or do you have to DP? You have to DP. Oh, I missed it. Forget me. Yeah, so another reason why I don't think he should be Anchor. You need to have an assist behind you if you're going to commit to this, because it's punishable. But if you do this into that, all of a sudden you're plus. And then you got to do, you know, same side mix-ups or the cross-up, things like that, you know. It gives you options that you wouldn't have by yourself. It's a solid movement tool, especially in the air. You don't really have landing recovery, right? It's more than full screen. Gets you out of tough situations. It's hard to catch up to him because it is faster than dashing, and probably just as fast as Super Dash. So it's good for a jump scare, right? You catch your opponent from full screen. Again, you know, call and assist. You're not really going to react to if they get hit or if they block. You're kind of just calling it for good measure. And then you just kind of do your Vegeta stuff, you know, build all the bar back that you spent and more. Build probably a bar and a half, maybe 2 bars with an optimal combo. I'm not sure, but it's worth it to throw out as long as you keep yourself safe. There's a lot of things that people do in this game that are unsafe, but that's why we have assists. That's why it's a team fight. All right, now we have DPs, right? A DP is always good to have. It's a get off me move. You know, it's a little scary to throw out because if it's blocked, you are going to explode. You can vanish if your opponent blocks it. Or, sorry, Spark. You can vanish, but you can be 2H'd. However, the main use for Vegeta's DPs are not necessarily get off me. Yeah, sure, that's nice. But it's to bait your opponent to want to super dash you. When you're doing stuff like this and you're annoying your opponent and then they super dash at you like that, you don't have to take the hit. You can DP. And if you DP them, Spark, you know, they explode. It's a medium starter into Spark. You do all this damage. You build all this bar because the new changes you got. Things like that. You can TLD into it, right? Of course, you could do it in the air. Now, I would stick to LDP. The reason being is that sometimes MDP can whiff. It's not very likely, but you don't want to put yourself in the situation where it can whiff. Let's see if I can get this to show, actually. Yeah, so you saw it whiffed, right? But it's faster, so it has less of a chance to whiff. So you want to stick to LDP because it's invulnerable to airs and when you're on the ground and approaching you from the air. MDP is more so the grounded get off me tool. And then there's HTP, which does a nice side switch, right? Boom, HTP in the corner. You put them in the corner all of a sudden. You know, you typically wouldn't HTP outside of that. Maybe if you need a quick knockdown because hit stun is at a maximum or close to it. But outside of that, you typically want to stick to MDP. All right, now your moneymaker. 236S. What is this move called? I know it's Die Missile Barrage for Gotenks, but Consecutive Energy Blast. Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised. This is your moneymaker. This is the bread right here. And it's not too much of a commitment because I showed you can vanish on whiff, right? So outside of Spark, it's not too bad. But when you're in Spark, it's no longer a commitment in any capacity. You just throw it out. Your opponent happens to avoid every hit, and you just empty vanish. It's no commitment at all. If you do end up getting the hit, right, you build all the meter in the world. Remember, I'm not a Vegeta player, so you have to forgive me. But there's so much hit stun to it. It's so long that you could actually throw out a button and then Dragon Rush. you know, you could Spirit Bomb in if you want to because it's just that damn good. Damn, he's good. There we go. That's so funny. It's just active forever. You could do the Krillin level 3 Oki with him as well. I don't have Krillin, so I can't show you, but just take my word for it. You know, it's funny because this kind of reminds me of Baby with his own 236H because you could do this on the ground, land, you know, do stuff like this, right? There's just so many things you could do with it. If you think it might work. Now, let's talk about the assist. We've gone through all the specials. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed anything. We talked about DP. We talked about jump to LM. We talked about consecutive energy key blast. Right? We talked about all the specials. Now, his assist. I realistically can only see people using A because was it this patch or the last patch that they buffed it? It was one of the recent patches that they made it longer. But not just that, it's also defensive. Look how far behind you he spawns. And this is a huge reason why people hated Vegeta 8, right? It's you can't hit him. So this is definitely a, hey, let me just mash this assist on block. And I could kind of just do whatever I want, right? I could key charge all of a sudden, build all this bar, get the hit. No, you have forever to do what you want. And yeah, sure, there's the RPS if they block it. But if you're ready for it, you making them block, you just hit them. The odds are in your favor. Oh man, I sure do hope that they don't super dash. Oh my god, you super dashed. Oh no, you super dashed. Why would you do such a thing? So the odds are always in your favor. And then we have B assist, which is just rocket kick, right? It's not even full screen. It's a poor man's Gogeta's A assist. Honestly, Gogeta Blues is just way better. It goes full screen. It wall bounces. Maybe there's like a niche reason to use this, but I can't think of a legitimately good one. Finally, C assist. It's his DP. It is invincible, but here are my problems with it. One, it's a C assist. Two, if it's blocked, it's only plus 18. You can't even use this on offense. And when his A assist is already basically a defensive assist, I don't see any place you would want C assist. Yeah, and as you know, someone, you know, Taran Kusu, sorry if I butchered your name, also mentioned A assist lasts so long that it actually outlasts Super Dash. Which is true. Before, it used to barely lose to Super Dash, right? But if they Super Dash immediately, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit and block. So yeah, I can't really find many reasons to use any other system besides say it's defensive, it's combo potential, conversions, right? It just makes everything so much easier to do. You get a weird hit, you just call A assist. I mean, look how far it goes. It essentially goes full screen, right? It's like 95, you know, one key blast out of a couple will hit, but it basically goes full screen. So when it comes to Vegeta's stagger pressure, it's pretty lacking because he doesn't have anything too crazy on block. He doesn't have any command overheads. He doesn't have a command grab, right? Like, the big thing about his pressure is you want to lead into the rocket kick, right? To put you in a left-right mix situation. This is the big thing about it, you know, to do the floating and all that stuff. So you don't really rely on his stagger pressure too much. Key blast being -2 is great. You can, you know, go for this, but it's so close that you're not really reacting to anything. You're kind of just guessing if they're going to go for something. But again, since you can cancel, you can try to bait Super Dash and things like that. But I wouldn't rely too much on his stagger pressure. It's not like Cell, you know, you can Cell stagger 5M, right? He has so many lows, you know. He can charge his 5H to try to bait reflect, things like that. 2S passes his opponent, but on block it's +2 in his favor. His best anti-reflect is 5L 5H, right? Or maybe 5L rocket kick, but even that might be too fast. Nah, it's 5L 5H. This is pretty standard. I mean, you could try 5L key blast, right? But if they keep reflecting, you know, which some people do. So it's either 5L into 236S, right? Or like, can you do 5L into 236S? Maybe. Yeah, something like that. Because 236 is your money maker. But you can also just straight up do this. So he doesn't have too many options with anti-reflect, unlike other characters. But yeah, you know, his frame data, all his mediums are pretty safe. LL is -2, right? So they're not too bad, but they don't lead to anything threatening, right? Again, the severe lack of command grab or outside of 6M, right? He does have Dragon Rush, things like that. So it's a little harder to stagger with him than it is with other characters that are more blessed, but he does have good mix-up and good baiting tools. So all in all, Vegeta's a pretty solid character, especially with all the recent changes, right? He's very potent now on point or mid. Again, you don't want him by himself because this move, right? EX Rocket Kick, very powerful. As long as somebody's behind him. Because if you can get this to land and then you call an assist and it's spaced well enough, you get, you know, the left-right mix-up. Am I going to air dash? Am I going to stay in front of you? You could even air dash, right? And then stay in front. Like, that looked like it crossed up. That was evil, you know? You want me to talk about Zulky? Yeah, I guess you can. It's not as potent as Vegeta. Let me make sure you can't 2H me here. Yeah, it's not too bad. Could you ID button here? I think you could do up back and then air dash. Yeah, that would hit if he wasn't set to 2H. Yeah, you just have to jump back when you do this mix-up. I don't think you can do it with just ID button. So you make sure you set your super dash button. Yeah, that doesn't hit. So remember, smaller characters are more prevalent. 18, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Blue Vegeta, Krillin, GT Goku, just to name a few, right? 17, if it whiffed on 18, it whiffs on 17. It's just jump back, ID forward, hits all of them, gives you the mix. They can't 2H it. Well, most people can't because you're too far. There are some blessed characters, I would imagine, like Gogeta 4 maybe. But he's taller character, so you don't gotta waste time doing up back. You can just straight up forward. You can just straight up air dash. So know your options. Know your options. One option covers and wake up 2H. The other option makes it whiff if they're too small. But then you could punish afterwards and you get a medium starter. Or 2H. You just kind of have to play that RPS game. Or you could just do same side J2L. The choice is yours. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. Appreciate the live audience. Crazy. It's filmed in front of a live audience. It's just you guys. Again, you know, tell me what character you want to play. You know, if you become a member, pick your character. It's just them's the breaks. The priority list. If not, I'll just pick who I want next. Again, Cat became a member and was like, hey, do Super Saiyan Vegeta. And I was like, rightio. Someone else becomes a member. I got you, bro. But outside of that, please like, sub, comment. Catch you guys on the next video. Bye.